Let's see if we're live. Just a second. I suppose so. Yes, we got audio, we got video, and we got another live stream. Thanks for watching this new live stream here at Eagle Eye Productions. I couldn't make a buying review this month. Maybe I will make one later in November, or you have to wait for December. It's quite of a difficult and tough time, I should say, with work and some personal stuff going on. But don't worry, I will be making videos forever because I like it. But I got up nice and early this morning, and now we're going to do this live stream about a very special car within the Audi range. And I saw the two last live streams I put out together. They garnered quite some views, and yeah, I was happy about that. So without further ado, let's just go in here. So we're gonna select Audi, and we're gonna select the RS model 4. So based on the A4, we have the S4, which is more of the sportive version of the A4, and the RS is the most hardcore you can get. So here on this Dutch car website, he only finds a bit more than 60 of those cars. Maybe a bit of history lesson. We had the RS, Audi RS 2. That's from the 90s. This was one of the first RS models. I think this was the first RS. And this car was produced in conjunction with Porsche. The first RS4. Let's see. Let's go into here. Let's do this one. They always got a great overview. So this is the current one. So just to get a bit of information, and this is the first RS model that came out in 2000. If I'm correct, let's double check that. First generation on the platform of the B5. Okay. So the production started in 1999 until 2001. So right around that time, this car was being built, and it was based on the platform B5. And this car had a 3.2 bi-turbo V6 which had super great tuning potential, and on top of that, it had the quattro all-wheel system. So in any weather condition, you could put this power on the road, which was for the time quite unique, because if you go for a BMW or Mercedes, they only offer rear-wheel drive AMGs or MM cars. So this was more of the safe alternative. Let's go back. We jump all over the place. I recognize that. So here, 2006, this is basically the second generation RS4. This car here has driven 131,000 kilometers. That's not a lot, but who say that's true? They still ask 25k for this car. And this car had a V8, I suppose, because yeah, it does. The 4.2, the famous 4.2. Yeah, quite neat car. This was, when you think about in the time that car journalists wrote about this car, and also remember Chris Harris talked about this was un-Audi like. So where the first generation was cool because it looked cool, it still had kind of a raw edge to it. This was closer to perfection. And yeah, when you read the reviews about this car, many people have an opinion about it. But this is just a very luxurious family rocket. 2006. Yeah, it's quite a while ago, but I think it aged well. Back then, Audi was still, it was being established within the market. It was a great alternative to a Mercedes or BMW or Lexus for the time. And Lexus is not a car you see a lot in the Netherlands, let alone Europe. We tend to buy more European cars. I always say like this: people that are fed up with the unreliability of European cars, they will jump to the Japanese alternatives, and they won't turn back. But hey, to each his own. So this has a 4.2 liter V8 with 420 horsepower. That's quite nice. Weighs 1685 kilograms, so yeah, it's quite a lot of power to weight ratio here. But the funny thing about Audi, I remember this switch. Yeah, it has nice carbon here and it has different dials, but this switch straight comes out of a Volkswagen Polo, for instance. So Audi is cutting cost there where where it matters, where it don't matter. But overall, this is for the time. Remember 2006, we still had Nokia phones, so yeah, the iPhone wasn't out yet, and this still looks quite high tech. Yeah, of course it's outdated. I know. But think about 2006, and you have this kind of interior and this kind of steering wheel. Yeah. So 25K for this car. Let's see. Let's go back again. It's an import, but it was imported at late 2006, and it was built in 2006. So I think this car was it was still under warranty probably when it was imported by somebody who was probably quite rich. But the thing is, you can maybe negotiate about the price. But you have to check based on the license plate how many owners a car like this had. But it's 2006, 130,000 kilometers. I don't trust it. Straight off the bat, I don't trust it. And these kind of cars are not easy or cheap to maintain. Yeah, here you see a bit of the license plate, but this is not a 2006 plate. So yeah, just little details like that. Nah, on to the next. I mean, you can have a look at it and maybe if they have the correct history, but 25K is quite a lot to spend on a potential headache. So be aware of that. Let me get a sip of coffee. So I hope you guys are doing great and enjoying these live streams. I'm planning to do that every month. Come rain, come shine. And if you want me to increase more and do more live streams, also please let me know. For me, sometimes this is more fun than making a video, to do the research and write down my story, record, and I still like that process. But I'm turning more into, maybe a streamer. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Okay, so this is also 2006. This is a bit more expensive. Here, this has almost 300,000 kilometers driven. This one 130, both model year or when they were built, 2006. But this is the limousine. So this is probably the sedan, you would say. And this is the event, which is the estate, or how you say it in America, station wagon. Yeah. But this one looks quite clean. But again, 300,000 kilometers. It's a lot of hard kilometers. I'm sure. Don't need to be, but you're not driving. You're not buying a car like this just to go to the grocery store 2 kilometers down the road. You don't do that. Oh, this is sexy. But also 2006 has a different kind of plate. It's probably imported. And why is it imported? Dutch people don't buy cars like these. I mean, if you have the kind of money that you're not gonna buy an A4 on steroids. You're gonna buy an A6 or an A8, and you also have an S8. You have an RS6. Who buys these cars? Yeah, enthusiasts with lots of money. And now down the road, I mean, for less than 30K, you can pick them up. Looks kind of clean. Here, the leather needs some. It's strange. Maybe they switched the seats. This one used to be there. Or I don't know. Why is it here broken and not here on the driver's seats? Small details like that. Even though it's early and I only had one coffee, I can see these things. Let's see. Stop off. For the seats. Memory position, yeah. Back then in 2006, all these things were nice quirks and features that were all new and they should highlight the technological advance that Audi brought to the table. Of course, we also did a live stream about the Audi V8, and in the basis, the engine from there was generation on generation was being improved, power outputs increased, but basically that engine is also put together here, sorry, in the A4, which is quite overkill for such a small car. But then again, you have Quattro, the four-wheel drive system. I mean, driving in the Alps when it's winter time and it's been snowing and it's icy and it's slippery. I mean, give me an Audi Quattro. I love Mercedes. I love BMW. Definitely as a brand. Don't have a lot of experience driving them, but just knowing from the fact that you have optimum traction with that amount of power, that fact alone let me choose Audi. And I used to be a big fan of the Audi brand. I mean, this generation and before that, the 90s. I mean, this for me is the pinnacle of Audi. Even though this is all Volkswagen Polo Golf, it doesn't get higher. They don't spend money on that. Yeah, you get a carbon strip. Yeah, you need to pay double for that. But that alone, I think this car aged quite well. Yeah, I mean, this is the era this is 2005, 2006 ish, so the mid 2000s. That is when Audi was on its peak. That was when Audi was really making beautiful cars, and look at how it aged. It aged nice. Look at what they make nowadays. In 10 years, you're gonna laugh at it. I'm just, maybe that's the economy we live in. I have no idea, but ooh, but it's a 6 speed. And remember, there's some great comments about the 6 speed shifter from Audi. Yeah, let's move on. Let's find a new one. Here, also 2006. Maybe I get a later model year. Here, 2013, so 10 years old. 200,000 kilometers driven, a bit above. Also 4.2 V8. That's strange, huh? 2006, and this couple of years later, so like 7 years later, and still around the same price mark. Interesting. Don't know why exactly. Can I also open it here? No. Let me do this. That's kind of strange because this is a newer car. It's probably the third generation. Yeah, it's the third. Let's see, how can I get it? Okay, great. Yeah, you still see these driving around quite frequently. I remember 10 years ago when I saw the review between this Audi RS4 model and a C63 AMG, both driven by Chris Harris, and he had some funny remarks about the Audi in comparison to the BMW. And of course, he said the Audi has the most beautiful interior. I mean, the Quattro four-wheel drive system, it works. This is more of a DTM car, high revs and great noise. Feedback is always a bit lacking when it comes to Audis. The gearbox is a bit complicated. It does its job. And he said about the C63 AMG that is just like a muscle car from Germany. It's like, yeah, it was more exciting in his opinion. And I think I know where he's coming from. Audis are always a bit clean, both driving wise, and it's too how you say, too fabricated or something. They really, you can see a lot of smart people thought very long and very hard about this car, and it is a great product. But for this price range, you want something that blows you off your feet. That's basically, I think, if I can summarize it and remember it correctly, that's what he was saying. But let alone that, I think this car still looks quite beautiful. And the generations after that, they all became more shouty and more screaming because, the competitors did as well. I mean, look at BMW, look at Mercedes, look at Audi now. I mean, they're all design wise and from the interior. It's who has the biggest screen and who has the most gadgets. That's not why you buy a car for. You're not gonna buy a car like this to sit there, hey, my screen has this resolution, and you buy a computer for that. You know, you get in this car, you get a comfortable seat, get a great seat position, have a beautiful engine, have a well put together gearbox that can handle the power, and it can shift when you think in your mind in that split second you want to shift, it already shifts. That's a good gearbox. It's about driving, you know. And this 2013 is 10 years ago. Look at the navigation screen. It's efficient. Nowadays you got these kind of screens in front of your face. I don't know why, but people are obsessed by tech. Anyway, let's move on. And this, so 200,000 kilometers driven. It's a 7-speed now. I want to see some power output figures here. So technical information. Okay, 451 horsepower. The weight increased a bit over the last generation, I see. Top speed is limited at 250. 8-cylinder, yeah, 7. I'm sure it's a pleasant car to drive. I mean, this is when you have a family, put a couple of luggage in the back, and you can blast your way through any continent, pretty much. But it's funny to me that it's only 30k in comparison to the cars from 2006. Granted, I like the cars from 2006 design wise a bit better. This is also 30k. Let's go over this real quick just to give you a small comparison. Like design wise, I like this better. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm getting older or anything. When I was young, this was driving around, but this is more timeless in a sense. And I know that's not everything, but when a car is getting older and you can really see it's outdated, yeah. But with this, I know it's an older Audi because I know this kind of shape and design of the lights and the interior and the instrument cluster is all a bit 2000s, but yeah, I think it aged well. So this one is also 30k. It's from 2006, so also this plate doesn't match. So this is also imported, probably from Germany. It's shady. You can maybe even better pick it up yourself in Germany and then get a full service history, get all the bills. Then you know what you're paying. When it crosses the border, a lot of things can how you say, can be manipulated, or things get lost in transit. All those kind of things. You don't want that. Not with a car like that. And also, I can't stress it again. If you got 30k in your pocket, you can buy this car. But perhaps you need to put another 10, 15k in this car at least to make it close to perfect. It will never be perfect no more. It's an old car. You need very deep pockets if you want to do that. Economically, it's not worth it. But sometimes love is blind. I get that, but it's very difficult to get a car like this back to its original state. So 2013 is the same. Okay, this is 35. It's in Zomeren. That's funny. Let's see, 140k driven. Yeah, it still has its charm, especially in this black trim. But everything is black. Isn't this the car for Batman or something? Yeah, it's a beautiful design with the red brake calipers and everything. It's quite something. Let's move on. 2015, red. Let's see if we get something even more recent. 2012. Ooh, here. This is one. Look, and this is what nostalgia does. So 2000, which I said, it had a V6 B turbo, like I said. I want to see if 3.6 was correct or 3.8, one of the two. But look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This is what this is my opinion. This is what you want to see in your garage in the morning. Timeless, classic beauty. Classic. 381 horsepower from a V6 B turbo. That was quite a lot back in those days. 2000, huh? Audi came out of the blue with this car. This looks like original plate. This is what I'm talking about. And that's why it's probably 40k. Look at this. Yeah. This is Quattro G. This comes either straight from the factory or anything else, but there's a reason why you have to spend that much money on a car like that. Is it a lot of money? Yeah, you got an icon. Are you gonna drive this daily? I don't know. When you got real money, then you drive this car 4 times a year for a long weekend, put lots of miles on it, enjoy it to the fullest, and then you put it back in the garage. And you have another car for daily driving and driving to the winter. But this is pretty. You also had this in red and yellow and blue, but this is actually more livable. Look at how wide this body is. Fantastic. Yeah, those subtle hints here that you are dealing with a special car. Small extra badge here. Different kind of design. This is when people understood design. And I know how I sound like. I will only talk about design and not about the car itself today. But aesthetics are very important, especially for, if you spend a lot of money or you want something like a classic. And this is all in the eye of the beholder. I understand that. But here, this is the age. Now you have your own car phone. Yeah, let's think about it. In the early 2000s, when you were setting up internet at every office, and you needed to go from office to office real quick, could be like that. Yeah, you see, this is Koblenz. Comes straight from Audi. Yeah. There was a service at the end of 2000. And this is what I'm talking about. You need all the bills, all the things that has been done to the car. You want everything complete when it comes to with a car like this. So let's see. It has the 2.6, the 2.7. Let's see. The 2.7 V6 bi-turbo. Let's see if we can get a picture of that engine because it looks beautiful. Audi 2.7 V6 bi-turbo engine. And also see if I have a great image. Yeah, this is exactly how it looks. Yeah. That was a masterpiece of engineering, especially for the time. And things like this really put Audi on the map. That coupled together with the Quattro 4-wheel system, it was kind of unbeatable. Yeah. Is it worth it? Nostalgia is expensive, but only by looking at this car, I would already be happy. This is actually when I look at all the cars I just saw, this is the one I would buy if I had the money. I'm just on the looks alone and owning it and having it standing in the garage and taking it for a spin a couple of times a year. That would already be enough for me. And maybe the prices of cars like this go up even further. You never know, but maybe you can sell this in a couple of years for 50, 55. Of course, you need to do maintenance because you need to keep it in a kind of a state like this. Otherwise, you can't sell it. You can't ask 45k and then the other person needs to spend another 15k to make it like this because then he's gonna look for something else. But yeah, let's move on to something else. 2008, 2007, 14, another 2001 here. Look at this. Yeah, but I don't believe this. 14k for a car that came out 22 years ago. Nah, I don't believe that. That's nonsense. You don't buy this car and not drive with it. Maybe it has a new engine, but this one all of a sudden has 650 horsepower. Huh? So was it tuned? There must be a story. I want to see the story. Let's see. Okay. In 2013, this car was restored completely restored. Many of the bills from back in the day are available, and there has been some adjustments that they made, and that's why this car has over 650 horsepower. You see that the original V6 B turbo had 380-ish horsepower, and then they went from with the same engine block, the 2.7 V6 B turbo. They managed to tune it from that power figure, so under 400 to over 650. So that shows you the tuning potential of this engine, which is crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, but is it worth? Yeah, I don't know. If they really see that in 10 years, because they rebuilt it in 2013, if they driven 14k of kilometers on it. They say they completely rebuild it, so that must mean there's a new engine in it. If that's the case, then this 62 is worth it. But 650, I know the tuning potential of this engine is great. I read articles about it, but that's quite crazy to go from 380 to over 650. That's quite a lot for a car that's not that heavy. They're not that heavy. Nowadays cars are way heavier. All right, moving on. 2018. So this probably, you see, this 62 from 2001 and this 2018. But this is what I mean. This is such a beautiful comparison. You see here this Audi from 2000 and here 2018. Of course, looks in the eye of the beholder, but this, to my opinion, it has no class. It's too shouty, it's not Audi-like, but of course a lot of improvements have been made. The interior, they are still beautiful, definitely. It's still, you're still in a car that's very high-tech, but that's what we want nowadays. We have iPhones for over 10 years, so we want everything digitalized and everything, but it loses some of the charm. That's all I'm saying. So we went from the 4.2 V8 FSI to a 3-liter TFSI, so with a turbo. And of course, the power figures are higher. So we're going to check that out as well. Is it an ugly car? No, not per se, but it's a bit too shouty in my opinion. It lost some of its initial charm. This is, yeah, too shouty in my opinion. But let's see. Beautiful car though, definitely. You have the whole full integration here with Google Maps and everything. It's a high-tech place and it's probably a very nice place to be. Oh, see, they bothered to change the switches. That's nice. Let's see. Okay, so 450 from a 3-liter 6-cylinder engine. Also, this one was imported, but it was built in 2018, probably bought in Germany, and then maybe the German guy said, nein, ich möchte etwas anderes. I want something different. So yeah, probably a Dutch guy imported it. If you can check the license plate, then you can see how many times since 2018 this car switched owners. If it's and when it goes to over the border, then you start with one again. So then you can see if this was a car just for the summer or somebody bought it really like more than 5 years ago or 5 years ago and stick with it and now want something else. These kind of little details, you might think they don't really matter, but they do matter. They do matter. But overall, this car looks nice. 60k is a lot of money, but for this car, which is relatively new, it's quite okay actually. I don't have that kind of money, but I understand how expensive supercars, because that's what it is, essentially can get. And this is a car that's usable every day. Yeah, people gonna notice it because it has RS4 badges. Most of the people don't understand, because a lot of people, especially in the Netherlands, they don't care about cars. But you can see that that is a special car. Is it beautiful? I don't know. Is it high tech? Is it a nice place to be at? Yes. Let's see if we can still get another one. Also, the same power output, of course. A little bit less kilometers. Yeah, it's a lot of money, you know, definitely. Okay, 2018, 2018, 2020, all blue. Let's check this one out. Just under 100,000. Just under 100,000. Yeah. This is a typical Audi color, definitely. I talk like a female today. I talk about coloring. I talk about the aesthetics of the car. What's wrong with me? Anyway, doesn't matter. That's also important sometimes to show your feminine side, I suppose. But let's keep on going. So this is 100,000 kilometers driven, 2020. So it's 3 years old, almost 4 years old. Yeah, we know the power output already, but let's check technical specifications. 3-liter 6-cylinder with a turbo, and this has 600 newton meters and 451 horsepower. Yeah, it's plenty, of course. I mean, it's limited 250, so what's that, 155 miles an hour? It's a fast car with quattro and everything. Yeah. Okay, now let's see what else we have. Anything special here? 2018 performance. Okay, so this is a performance label. Don't know if that's in-house or how that works. Let's see, can I check this one? Yeah, it's probably been tuned again, so I have to see what we went from 451. Let's see what is the power output for this car. Specifications. Let's see. Yeah, the same power output. I don't know why they say performance then. It looks like it was tuned or something, but it isn't. Wait, let me go back. So this car is then 72k. Yeah, that's a lot of money, definitely. But it didn't drive a lot yet. Yeah, probably had a rich first owner that got bored of it and wanted something newer. I don't know. Black fits his car quite well with the red and everything. But it's, I can't stress this enough, it's not the Audi that we know from the 2000s. This is, yeah, it's still a very high-tech place. I can appreciate that. It's a beautiful place to stay in. It's most of the time they outclass BMW and Mercedes in this department, because Audi is just, they know how to put together an interior. Yeah, but it only depends on what kind of driver you are. If this can be sporty, it can also be a relaxing cruiser with plenty of torque. It's going to be a great long distance car, definitely all-weather car. I think all those qualities are quite important. It's a nice place to be in. And with a BMW, you don't want to go sideways everywhere. You don't. Yeah, you also got to think about safety. But it all depends. It's a matter of taste. So they managed to squeeze 450 horsepower from a 3-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder, where they used to have the same power output with a turbocharged 4.2 V8. So in that department, Audi also made quite a big change, but they have to, because of the tax that is related to the CO2 emissions and everything. But we won't see cars like this no more in the future. I don't even know if there's going to be new generation RS4 or RS6. These will be icons of the past very soon, because nobody's able to afford them anymore, or they're not even allowed no more by the government maybe. Yeah, let's see how that works out. I mean, companies like Audi, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, all the likes, they have a long track record of building superior cars, performance cars. But who knows what the future will bring? Maybe it's all going to be electrical, or yeah. Let's not think about that yet. We'll see, because real car enthusiasts will not be enthusiastic about that. Ooh, who puts this behind an RS4? Yeah, I get it. Maybe if you got a couple of horses, but yeah, that looks bad. But guys, I think this is it for this live stream. Again, hopefully I will try to put up another audio video somewhere in November. I'm quite busy at the moment, which is fine. It's part of life. But I had to put out a live stream so you at least have something. And I hope you appreciate that. It's always nice to show you what kind of cars we have here in the Netherlands, what we pay for it, and what's available. You see, for a niche model like an Audi RS4, there's still quite a lot of, how you say, cars that are available, which is nice. But most of these cars are imported. There's only a very few cars that are put on the license plate, like from the beginning here, and that's when the history of a car like this counts. I don't know how it is in the United States or how it is in Germany. Germany is also very strict when it comes to cars, and they need to be tested correctly. And you made a small adjustment, you need to test the car again if it's road legal, and they really take that very seriously. Ooh, 530. Well, why is it 530? Here, this has 8K driven on it, kilometers, and this is the price in euros, which is crazy, of course. But it's 1 year old, but it's still the same generation. But you can see how the prices go. So you can also see if you put too much miles on a car, around 100,000 kilometers, you really have to think, do I want to drive this car a lot, put a lot of miles on it, because then it depreciates very hard. So it's never smart to buy a car new. But if you do, then make sure that you don't put too many miles on it. Otherwise, you basically get no money from this, because who's going to buy an RS4 with 300,000 kilometers on it? Nobody. That's too much risk. And a car like this still has factory warranty probably for the next couple of years. Yeah, if you got that kind of money, then you take a chance, right? Maybe you drive this for a year and then you sell it again. Anything else? Wow, that's quite expensive. Yeah. One more. This is the last generation. See, it has something about it that is nice, but it's also quite screaming in your face. Yeah. This was tuned by ABT, which is a tuning company that focuses on VWs, I think, or mostly Audis. Yeah, I mean, it all looks so high tech, but who cares about this carbon fiber strip here on the side of your chair? I mean, it has a certain look, but yeah, okay. When you have that kind of money, you say, yeah, do it. Cost 10K, do it twice, it's, yeah. That's also the appeal for these cars for a lot of people. It's not exactly that they appreciate the techniques or the design. It's also like, somebody just put almost 200,000 euro on a car. Wow, this guy is cool, which I never get. You drive a car like this for yourself. Oh, apparently this is a limited edition, I think. At least at ABT, RS4X. X probably stands for a quattro or four-wheel drive. 1 out of 60. Yeah, 1 out of 60. So this is a limited edition. Okay. Yeah, you see. And then you put down another 30K, and then you have this written there, and you have carbon everywhere, and the output is still the power output is still the same. Yeah. How exclusive you want it, huh? Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you're all doing great, and we catch you on in the next video. Thanks for watching.